So everybody has arrived in Maui. Everybody's there, and everybody's sitting at the table. Portia just arrived with Todd, which was a shock to everybody, and everybody was just like, "Okay, all right, okay." And Candy was just like, "I'm trying to keep my composure, Todd. I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be cordial." And everybody was just like, "Candace, calm down, Candace. Chill out, Candace. Just chill, ma. Like, whatever you feeling right now, that energy that you feeling right now, you need to hold on to that shit and let it go and not pop off." Portia was just like, cool. She was just like, they being shady, so whatever. So, they started arguing, as that whole thing. Candy was standing up. She was just like, I just can't stand a liar. I just can't believe this shit. Candy's voice get to shaking and she start crying and she get emotional and them veins start popping out. She start looking more and more like Joyce. So that was just a mess. And Portia was just sitting there chilling, and Candy was just like, "Oh my God, it's taking everything in me not to slap the got this bitch." And Portia was just like, "I wish you would. I wish you would." Portia was as cute as a cucumber, as cool as a cucumber, just sitting there chilling. Todd there, just as slow. Y'all know Todd is the female Portia. So, I think they're cute together. I think they're adorable and dumb and chocolate and just everything and just what? A person. Yes. What? No, I'm talking about the Housewives of Atlanta. When Candy said that to Portia. Knows ass. So anyway, um, we had that going on, and then Portia, um, she was just like, "I wish you would, Candy. What's really going on? Like, what's going on? What's going down?" Um, and the here comes the rest of the girls that came to get Portia, away from the table. Phaedra gets up and she's just like, at the end of the day, me and Candy was friends, and I don't want to see her go through this whole thing, because at the end of the day, the situation's not that serious. Of course, the situation's not that serious to you, Miss Parks, because you're the issue right now. You are the one that pretty much is letting Portia take the blame for everything while you sit back and ain't saying nothing. Like, this just all on Portia. Like, Portia did all of it when mainly Portia just piggybacked off what you said. And now Portia's in hot shit and you ain't saying nothing to save your homegirl, which is crazy to me. Which is crazy to me. And I found out that I don't think that Candy is gonna find out that Phaedra was really the one that started this whole rumor thing until the reunion, which is so fucked up. Behind everybody, especially Sheree, said she the bone carrier. She couldn't carry that bone back to Candy. Sheree was sitting right there when Portia and Phaedra was sitting right there talking about Candy and the whole Shamia thing and all that. But Sheree couldn't reveal those bones to Candy. What is that about? But you're so ready to out Portia. I don't get that. Is people just scared of Candy? Like, what is it? I know Candy's holding the peach in the front now, but I'm just saying, like, does that mean that she's invincible or some shit? Like, no. So anyway, what happened after that? So it was just crazy. Here comes Kenya trying to get up, adding her 2 cents. Well, she's lying. She's been lying the whole time. She's a liar. She's a liar. Then Cynthia, um, she comes up, and she was just like, "Well, a lie is a lie, child. Whether you said it last year, today, or 3 years ago, it's a lie." So everybody gets up. Phaedra sits down at the table, and Candy gets up. Todd gets up to take Candy off. Cynthia, Kenya walk off. And the rest of the table is still there, which is the other Todd, Portia's Todd, Portia, Peter, Phaedra, Sheree, and Bob. Everybody just sitting there, Candy just going off. She's saying, "You got a free code, you got a free code with you. She ain't nothing but a hoe," and this and that. So I was just like, Lord have mercy. So we get to the next day, I was actually in the scene of the next day, when they, showed them like waking up and all that, and that was me like on the top of the hill. They cut it out though, but it was me like on top of the hill, hula dancing or whatever with my old dance skirt. That was me. I should have been it. Whatever. I don't know why they cut the scene. They're Bravo. They're shady. So, it showed everybody waking up, talking to Candy. It's just like, you all right? Candy was just like, not really. I just really don't want to spend my day with Portia. So Phaedra ended up calling Portia, or Portia ended up calling no, Candy ended up calling Phaedra, or Phaedra ended up calling Portia, whichever the hell. And Candy told Portia, she was just like, Candy told Phaedra, excuse me, that I don't really want to hang with Portia today. Like, she really done tried it. She done tried my life. She done tried my family. She done put these rumors out here that I done drugged the kids and all that stuff. And I come from 90s R&B and 90s hip hop. That's all they did was drinking drugs and shit. So, and I made it a point for me not to be one of those stigmas. I might got a sex dungeon, but I ain't drugging the kids, you feel me? So, um, allegedly. So Portia Phaedra was just like, you know what, I completely agree. One thing, Phaedra was really trying to be nice to Candy. She really is trying to be as cordial as possible and stay out of this situation because she don't want none of her tea spilled. She don't want none of her dirt told. In which Phaedra's behind all of this, as we know. But anyway, um, this smells so good, y'all. By the way, y'all ever had some sanitizer by Bath and Body Works? It's so good. What kind is this? Holly Jolly Berry. I got this like around Christmas time. Most at Christmas time, and I can't get you off my mind. Every other season comes along and I'm alright. But then I miss you most at Christmas time. Ooh, yeah. So anyway, um, Phaedra was just like, okay, you know what? I agree, and okay, we're good. Like I said, Phaedra's trying to be really cordial with Candy when I feel like, but she, her being so nice to Candy and all that, it's just keeping her name out of the loop. Because Candy and Sheree could easily have an argument that Candy going to talk to Sheree about it, which is why I don't know why I'm going to talk to Sheree. And then Sheree could be like, well, I'm sorry to tell you this, Candy, but Phaedra's the one that's behind all this mess. So Phaedra's whole job this season is just to be cool with everybody because she don't want her tea being spilled. And she's extremely nice to Sheree and Candy, as you know, because, shit just gonna hit the fan. I can't wait to the reunion. I can't wait to the reunion. So anyway, Phaedra, she goes over to Portia in this swimsuit that she done had since she was 18 years old, clearly, and it showed. She pulling her drawers out and all this kind of shit in front of Todd. Phaedra's a hot mess. This is so funny. And Phaedra revealed to them, she was just like, you know what, me and Candy was talking, and I just think it's best that if you just don't come with us today, all the tension. And Portia was just like, that's fine. I mean, that's cool. I mean, Candy was the one that was upset and showing out, and because everybody was angry. I died when she said that. And I was cool like a cucumber. So I mean, whatever. I do appreciate Portia for not lashing out back at Candy, because then of course that would give her another reason to be like, Portia's anger management thing. So Portia had a day with Todd. They got massages and all that kind of stuff. It looked like they had fun until the wind came and, knocked the old oils out the way. Just knock me down. So anyway, where did they go? They went on a little speedboat thing, which was fun. It looked like. Everybody wasn't excited about the whole speedboat moment, especially Phaedra, Cynthia, and Sheree. That's not really their thing. Kenya Moore is crazy, so she enjoyed that. Um, but before they got on the whole speedboat, um, what happened? We had Bob, Sheree, Kenya, and Phaedra in a car together. And then there was Todd, Candy, Cynthia, and Peter in a car together. So Peter, Todd, Cynthia, and Phaedra, they were sitting there talking, and Candy main thing, she just wanted to know what Portia said about her. On, after they had left, of course. And of course Peter was willing to spill the tea. And Peter was just like, she just hate being bullied and all that kind of stuff. And Candy started to laugh. She was just like, oh, so now we bullying her. Now we're bullying her. Ain't nobody bullying her. And Cynthia making her comments. And she was just like, Portia lying. She lying. She never lied so much. And, I'm just sick of her. And, she's fake and all this kind of stuff. And yada, yada. And Cynthia was just like, I ain't seen no sex dungeon. And until y'all try to drag me down there, I won't believe it. So um, Candy was laughing back and forth and talking, and Peter and Cynthia was kind of flirting and having their whole moments and all that kind of stuff. So we get to the other car ride, which is Sheree, Bob, Kenya, and Phaedra, which is a weird mix, but whatever. They're all sitting in the car talking, and they started talking about Portia and all that, and Phaedra was taking up for Portia, which of course she would be. Um, and Kenya, kept battling everything that Phaedra was saying back and forth. And Sheree was just like, in her confessional, she was just like, Kenya, just you are saving your breath. You need to save your breath, mama, because everything that you're saying, Phaedra is going to defend when it comes to Portia. And so it's just, I don't understand how she's the bone carrier, Sheree, but she only lets out certain bones. Like she pick and chooses which bones to let out. Like I don't understand it. If you hold all the tea, if you want everybody to be honest and real with each other and not be fake, then spill all the tea. Don't just spill some of it. You feel me? Don't half-ass it. Obviously, she has some kind of loyalty to, you know, to the situation, I guess, or to Phaedra or whatever. But I just don't think it's right that Portia is taking the heat for all of this when it's mostly Phaedra that created this madness. But whatever. Um, so, and I doubt if Phaedra would do the same for her. I genuinely doubt that Phaedra would do the same for her. Just like they call Cynthia flip flop, Phaedra's kind of a flip flop too, especially this season, as you can see. Um, so they're talking in the car, and somehow or another, it got on Bob's and Sheree's relationship. Oh, they got on. They was talking about Cynthia and Peter and how they're divorced, but they're on vacation together. And Sheree was just like, "That can never be us. We can never do that." And then Bob was talking. He was just like, "Yeah, well, why not?" He was just like, "Well, we done been through a lot and all that kind of stuff." And then he goes on and says, "Well, did I ever hit you? Did I ever choke you?" And Sheree was just like, "Really, really?" He was just like, "No, tell me. I might have forgot." And she was just like, "Yeah, you did choke me." And he was just like, "Are you still breathing though? Are you fine? I didn't choke you hard enough." He had made a joke before then about something like when they was riding in the car together, he was gonna unloose her seatbelt and then, run into something, basically, I guess to hurt her or kill her or whatever. And then, with Bob being so insensitive and silly, Sheree started to cry. Kenya started to console Sheree, which was nice. And Phaedra was in the background talking to Bob in the car, was just like, apologize, apologize, telling him to apologize. So he finally did apologize, but Sheree didn't want any of it. And she said in her confessionals he was kind of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of person, where he's very funny and great personality and all that. Nice bank account because, let's be honest, she wasn't with Bob for his looks. And so she was like, he's cool, but behind the scenes, it wasn't just the cheating, it was the abuse and all that kind of stuff. And it just really, really, hurt me. So, they went on the boat ride and, we told you about the boat ride and all that. But Sheree was just really upset about that whole thing. Um, Actually, a little later on to end, it was Sheree and Bob. Bob wanted to, I guess, give Sheree some kind of jury to show that he apologized. But Sheree, once she got there, they started to talk, and she started to get emotional again, and she was just like, I don't like understand you. You think everything is a joke. You're finna laugh, which he was laughing the whole time. I do know there are some people though that just like laughing thing is just like a nervous thing for them. Like they would rather laugh than like get into their feelings or get emotional about something. I do know people that's like that. It's just, they don't mean any harm by laughing, but that's just what they do when they're in like a sticky situation. They don't really know what to do or say. But him being a grown ass man, like good and grown, been grown a long time. Like it's really time to mature, especially for all the stuff that you don't put this woman through. So Sheree, she gets up and leave. I guess he was gonna get her some kind of I'm sorry ring or something, and she was thinking about actually giving Bob another chance, and then she goes away and cries and all this kind of stuff, which was that was definitely a moment that kind of made me feel bad for Sheree. Um, in that regard, no woman, no person, man, whatever should ever deal with domestic violence. So anyway, um, so Phaedra shady ass, she wanted to um get into this whole communion thing, revival committee meeting moment, but she wanted to take all the girls and have a spiritual moment and I open my heart, give it to you. Tell the whole world that I'm in love with you. Whatever you want, baby, I'll do. I want nobody else but you. There's nothing I won't do to spend my life with you. I'll give my all to you. I promise that I will never lie. There's nothing I won't do. Y'all let me know what artist sings that song. um, what artist sings that song, the name of the song, and the album that song comes from. All three, and I'll give you a shout out in next week's review of this show. So anyway, um, so they get to the whole thing. Portia arrives first. Phaedra's just like, "Oh, I missed you, girl," and Portia was like, "You ain't missed me, you traitor." There's a little truth to that statement, Portia. If you only knew, but you're blonde, so hey. Then Sheree arrived, and Portia and Sheree started to talk, and she mentioned the whole Bob ride with Bob them, and Portia was just like, "Well, did you confront Kenya about the domestic violence and jokes that she was giving you during that time?" And Sheree was just like, "No, but I'll bring it up tonight." So who came after that was Candy in this little cute outfit. Didn't nobody speak. Sheree spoke and Phaedra spoke, but Candy and Portia didn't say anything to each other. Then here comes Kenya and Cynthia. And so Phaedra started the whole thing out with, I just wanted us all to come together as sister friends, as women, as melanin infused people. And I wanted, to open our hearts and give it to you and extend a hand in the name of Jesus. And, we are all brothers and sisters in God's eyes, and we should hold hands, and we all have a platform, and we should come together and be one. Candy was just like, thank you, Martin Luther Phaedra. I died. So, they was all talking, and when Candy started to laugh, I started laughing. I don't know why. It was just funny to me when Candy started to chuckle after Phaedra was done talking. It was just funny to me because, the room had got quiet. Everybody was sitting there listening to everybody sitting there listening to Phaedra, all serious. And Candy was just like, so anyway, they all started to talk. And what was the first thing that they brought up? Um, okay, Sheree and Kenya, they started to talk, and of course, Kenya, she's always ready for people. Sheree was just like, she was talking to Convoy too. She was just like, Kenya, I didn't appreciate you making fun of me after that whole table scene where Candy back your ass up, and when they was outside and all this stuff. Um, and Sheree was telling Candy that I just telling Kenya that I just didn't appreciate you talking about the whole domestic violence thing, and women go through this every day. And Kenya was just like, you are not gonna blame this shit on me. You're not gonna blame the whole women's act thing on me and domestic violence and all that. And she said, what I said was, I will always take a woman's side as a woman, and you should never um be cool with a man putting his hands on a woman and all that kind of stuff. She said it a little bit more vulgar than that, but that's what I'll give you tonight. Um, and Sheree was just like, no, that's not what you said. And they was just going back and forth. Phaedra shut them up and was just like, it was just a miscommunication error or whatever. She's very, Phaedra's everything. She's a twerker. She's a whole bunch of stuff. And so then uh Portia and Candy started to talk. They was just like, anybody else want to say something? Portia was just like, one thing I do want to say to Candy is that, you know, whether I felt like that whole charade last night was real or fake, it's just unfortunate how we've gotten here, and it's just messed up, that you get that mad of things that happened and things that you did say. And um Candy was just like, now wait a minute. Don't ever think that my tears is because I love you, girl, because it's not the situation. My tears is the whole thing that you're basically telling a lie on me, and I built my career off of being, straightforward, a straight shooter, one of the kid artists or one of the kid actors or whatever, one of the kids in the entertainment industry that didn't turn to drugs because she started in Escape. Those girls was like, I think like 14, 15, something like that. Escape girls. Tiny, Tamika, Tasha, and Candy. So, it was a thing for her. So I understand why she would get that mad and upset. But, I would personally just laugh it off, but, whatever. But I do understand why she got that mad. Um, but, she was just like, don't you ever get it twisted or think that. And Candy was just like, it's just unfortunate that we've gotten to this place because I've helped you and supported you more than any of these girls. And, they showed a scene where Candy and Portia was hugging because Portia was crying about Cordell when they had just got divorced. And when Portia wanted to sing and Candy was helping her out, and she put out that Flatline single, and which was flat, to be honest, vocal wise, somewhat like Riley. But anyway, um, so they was talking, and Portia was just like, whether we was friends in the past or not, that was then, and this is now, and it is what it is. And another thing, I really want you to apologize to Phaedra because the things you've said about Phaedra is not right. There's Portia again being Phaedra's pit bull when Phaedra wouldn't even be her guinea pig. It's crazy, 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 crazy. And Phaedra sitting there nodding her head. Yeah, yeah. And Phaedra's just like, well, said a whole bunch of things about me, since, you said that I called the feds on you, which wasn't true. And apparently we found out that Candy and Todd and Phaedra had like a whole little argument at one point in time, and the very next day was when the feds showed up to Candy's home. So it was just like a coinky dink. They thought that Phaedra might have called because they just had an argument. So, but apparently Phaedra didn't call the feds or whatever. I wish they show a lot of this shit on TV because a lot of the stuff that they're talking about, it's just like, why should this matter to us? Like, y'all bring up all the stuff that don't nobody know about, don't nobody see. Like, we based our opinions on the show off what we see. If y'all don't show all the ins and outs and all the details, we just going off what we see. So how can y'all get mad, or any cast member get mad off what we see and give our opinions on this show? Because I mean, we don't know all the ins and outs. We don't really know who's telling the truth and who's telling the lie, what's made up and what's not made up. So you can't get mad if we give our opinions off what we see because we don't see everything, obviously. So, it's just kind of crazy to me. Anyway, random thoughts. Um, so, they're battling, going back and forth. And Phaedra was just like, yeah, you talk about my husband or something like that. And Candy was just like, all I said was that you was dating another guy or talking to another guy before Apollo went to jail. And Phaedra was just like, I wasn't dating other guys. Candy was like, you was dating a guy before Apollo went to jail. And Phaedra was just like, it's not like I was talking to him and just being like, oh, or, whatever. But anyway, this is just nonsense. I ain't got time for that. You see, she cut that off real quick. Phaedra was very smart and she's very crafty. She's a crafty queen. She's very smart and she knows exactly what to say and when to say it. And you see, she cut her business off. She'll never want you to know her business. She cut that shit off, but she can be involved in everybody else's business. Guys, even though Sheree's messy boots down, um, and she's all up in everybody else's business, Sheree, she still will let you into her own life and her own tea and all that kind of stuff. And Phaedra's very guarded on the show, unlike the other cast members. So one thing that was very important that Portia said earlier when Candy and Portia was going back and forth during this whole communion ceremony with no crackers or no wine, Phaedra was just she can't Portia these names. She was just like, you know what? If you say something about me, I'm gonna say something about you. That's basically what it is. So Portia, was that you admitting to everybody that you was telling a lie this whole time about the whole sex dungeon, about them trying to drug you and all that? Was this whole thing a lie, Portia? I mean, I kind of figured it was from the beginning. Um, but I'm just saying, like, Portia, is this Portia? I like you, Portia. Somewhat. I think you're funny. I like you more so when you get with Phaedra. Cause y'all are just funny together. Just a hot ass mess. Just hilarious and just thick and everything. I love it. But are you lying, Portia? I think you lying. You lying, sis. From here on out, Portia lying. She lying. She lying. So that was a whole moment. Cynthia was just like, look, I'ma leave just like the last time because ain't shit getting accomplished. And Phaedra, next time you need to um honestly sit down and know for a fact that people are ready to open their hearts and give it to you or not. When it comes to these type of discussions, you really need to, figure out who's real and who's fake, shawty. And that's just what it is. It's pretty much this episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. The girls tried, Phaedra tried, but it was a fail. Portia tried to read Candy, but it was a fail. Um, Sheree and Kenya tried to get to apology, but it was a fail. Bob and Sheree tried to get back together, but it was a fail. What else? That was it. Just fails across the board. I'm Mr. Chalake. Mr. Chalake on Google Plus. Follow me at ITSKINGWORLD on Instagram and Twitter. At ITSKINGWORLD89 on Snapchat and Chase Kings on Facebook. Like, comment, subscribe to this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you guys answer that little trivia question moment of the song that I was singing, the song, the artist, and the name of the album. All right.